What's up, y'all? It's your girl Brinking Out Loud, and I'm finally back with another video. Happy New Year! My goal this year is to hopefully get more videos out. I'm really trying to make a conscious effort, and if I don't get videos out, then I'm really gonna try to be more active on my Instagram and post more pictures and more tutorials via Instagram Live. I did one this morning. If you missed out, my Instagram name is Brinkley Bailey, and you'll be able to find out. I'll put it right in here somewhere. Today I'm just gonna do a video about foundations, and foundations for your face, of course, not like foundations for life or anything like that. I'm gonna do my top 4 favorite foundations for oily skin. My skin is oily when I wear makeup. However, when I don't wear makeup, it's pretty dry. It's so weird. It's like I have combination skin, kind of, but then it's also kind of like I have oily skin. I don't know, it's weird. So if you've seen my makeup video before, you know that I always put milk of magnesia underneath, and that's what I use as a primer just to block out the oils. Yes, it is a medicine, but I saw it on YouTube one time and I tried it on my face, and it really like soaked up all the oils in my face, and I will stay shine free for the whole entire day. Excuse me. I'll stay shine free for the whole entire day. So with that being said, I do always use milk of magnesia underneath my foundations. So that is how I judge whether a foundation will last all day or not, is whether it will last with my milk of magnesia, because there's even some foundations that are supposed to be like a matte finish, but my skin still gets oily through them, like no matter what primer I use other than the milk of magnesia, it will always get oily. So I'm going to show you guys my top 4 favorite foundations for oily skin, and you guys let me know in the comments below if there's any other foundations that you guys like to use if you have oily skin, and maybe I'll try those out and do a video on those. Alright, let's get into it. I'm kind of just going to go straight through the foundations. I'm going to give you the pros, the cons, how long I've worn it, what's the longest I've worn it, and how I apply it. So whether I use a brush or a sponge, and which one I felt worked best for me. So the first one that I'm going to use, and I'll start with like the more affordable ones, and then kind of get more expensive. But the first one, my tried and true, like if I'm out of town and I forget my makeup, this is the makeup that I go to Walmart or CVS or Target and I grab, and I know it's gonna work and I know it's gonna hold together no matter what. And excuse me if I sniff, I'm like getting over something. Sorry, just make sure my camera's up. I'm getting over something, so just ignore that. But my favorite drugstore foundation has to be the, I think it's, yes, Maybelline Fit Me Matte Foundation. And don't worry, I'll like link everything below. Sorry if you can't see that. I don't know if it's gonna focus. And it looks like this. They have it in a matte version, and then they also have like a dewy version of it, and I of course never get the dewy because my skin doesn't like that. So I always get the Maybelline Matte Plus Poreless, and it has the little teal on the label, and that's how you'll be able to differentiate it from the dewy foundation. And I use this in the winter and the summer. It doesn't, you know, make my skin dry in any random places. It doesn't really crease. I do always use a setting powder on top of this just to kind of lock it in, and when I do that, I usually don't have to touch it up the whole entire day. Like I might go like that, just dab it with my fingers on my nose, but other than that, I don't have any issues with this foundation. I love it. It's like literally maybe $7 or $8, if that. This foundation, I find it's best applied with a beauty blender, and so pretty much all my foundations I use a beauty blender with, but this one is just the bomb. Like I love this foundation, and it goes well with anything, like any kind of concealer or anything like that that you might use. Love it. So my second one, this is not really like, this is like kind of like my first favorite one, part 2. So it's like 1B. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me Shine Free Plus Balance. And this is a stick foundation. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. My camera never focuses when my face is here. So anyway, yeah, there you go. So this is a stick foundation. It looks just like this, and you roll it up and you apply it all over your face. And this one, I like to use a brush with this. It is good for if you're going out for maybe, you know, 3 or 4 hours. Like, this is not an all-day foundation. It's gonna give you like a light to medium coverage, so don't think that you can wear this all night long. I'll put my Milk of Magnesia on, I put this on top of it, and I'm usually good for about 5 or 6 hours. That's what I found with this one. Like, I try not to push it to the limit too much because, I mean, it is a drugstore foundation, so of course it's not gonna last you all night long. But I like this for if I'm like out running errands, I just want to put on something quick, like a BB cream or something like that, like similar to how you'd use a BB cream. That's kind of how I use this. Like, I'll just put it on real quick if I'm just running out and I just kind of want to even out my skin tone. I forgot to mention, this foundation, I have worn this for maybe 12 hours. No creasing or anything like that. The only touching up that I've done to it, like I said before, was just kind of going like that with my nose. And other than that, this foundation's great. And they pretty much work the same way. Like, the stick and the foundation work the same way. This is gonna give you more coverage, obviously, because it's a liquid. So I would say this is more of a medium coverage. However, you can build it and make it full. So I also like that about this one. So then we're gonna move on to my second favorite. My second favorite foundation, which is, of course, Fenty Beauty. Like, y'all don't understand. I seriously, like, I love this foundation. I love this foundation. I'm so glad she came out with this. And it does have a soft matte finish. And I will say, when I used this with her primer, I got very oily. However, when I used my Milk of Magnesia, I was able to put on my primer, Milk of Magnesia, and then I put this on top. When I tell y'all, this lasted all day long, like all day. Like, I applied it at 7:30 maybe in the morning and didn't take it off until 7 that night. I didn't touch it up once. I did not touch my face, and it was fine all day. Another thing about the Fenty is that it really gives you a glow, like, all day. Like, I can tell the difference between the Fenty Beauty foundation and when I wear my Maybelline foundation. Like, you can tell this gives you just like a natural glow and a natural finish, and I love it. Like, it definitely works for my oily skin. I may have to use like a little bit of primer, a little bit of powder if I notice like a small shine, but I like to be super matte. So with that, like, being taken into consideration, that's the only reason that I would touch this up, just me being anal. But other than that, this foundation lasts you all day long, and I love it. So it's perfect for oily skin. However, I would use, just me personally, I would use a different primer than her primer, just because I still got super greasy with it. Like, her primer is super moisturizing, so that may have been why. So if you have combination skin, it may work for you. However, since my skin gets so oily when I wear makeup, that's why I can't really wear it like that. But this is also applied super well with a beauty blender. And I know that she has a sponge that she came out with as well. I haven't tried that one yet. But when you apply that foundation with a beauty blender, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, it look like you welcome, ladies. Okay? Like, literally, it looks like it is your skin. Like, your skin is just flawless. And that's what you want with a foundation. You don't want it to look all cakey and gross and, you know, fake. So now we're gonna move on to NARS. I love this. Like, NARS's, this is called NARS Velvet Matte Foundation, and, well, it says Velvet Matte Skin Tint. And it does have SPF in it, so SPF 30, so it has sunscreen in it, which helps to protect your skin. I love this stuff. Like, this is comparable to the Fenty Beauty. It's a little bit, to me, it seems like the coverage is a little bit heavier, but, oh, and I don't know if I said the coverage on the Fenty Beauty. The Fenty Beauty, excuse me, foundation is probably about a medium coverage. Like, if you want full, you have to do 2 layers, or else it's just gonna give you kind of a natural glow finish look, which if you're going for that is perfect. But if you do want to cover up like dark spots and stuff like that, you probably will have to use about 2 layers. So back to the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint. I love this stuff. I actually ended up getting this in the summertime, and I will say that I did have to blot maybe every 4 hours, which if you have oily skin, that's not really that bad. And I didn't have to blot my whole entire face, just really my T-zone and my chin. That's pretty much all I had to touch up. But other than that, this gives you a flawless finish. And I've noticed that this foundation is best applied with a beauty blender or a brush, or a sponge or a brush. So, I mean, really you can't go wrong with this one. It is a little bit expensive. I think it's like a little bit over 50 maybe. I like to try foundations though, so I will splurge a little bit on the foundation, but it's about $50 and it has 1.7 ounces in it. But this will last you. I mean, if you wear it every day, it'll probably last you maybe a month and a half. But if you rotate your foundations like I do, like I don't really wear the same foundation every day. It just really just depends on how hot it is, if I feel like my makeup's gonna melt off. That's how I kind of decide which foundation I'm gonna use. But this foundation is the bomb, just like all of them. They're all the bomb, but like this one's a bomb too. Like, it just gives you such a beautiful finish. Like, when it says velvet matte finish, that's real, okay, y'all? So that again is the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint. And I got this at Sephora. I got the Fenty Beauty at Sephora, and then of course the Maybelline you can find at any drugstore. So my last foundation, and it is the foundation that's being starred today. Okay, honey. That is gonna be the Smashbox Studio Finish Foundation. Okay, whatever, it's not gonna focus. So, I actually just tried this, and I got it because I saw Alyssa Forever and It's My Ray use this, and they said it was really good for oily skin. So I was like, I'm a little late, but let me see what the hype is about. So I bought this from Sephora last week, and I tried it out. Y'all, look at my face. I don't know if you can really tell, but I put this makeup on at, it was like 10:45, and what time is it now? It's 5 o'clock. I haven't touched my face. I have not touched it. Like, I haven't dabbed my nose. I haven't got my powder out, nothing. So I will tell you, I applied the Smashbox Studio Finish with a beauty blender. And to me, the beauty blender just gives you like a more natural look because you're pressing it into your skin instead of swirling it on the top. So I will say that it gave me a very natural finish. It is like a little bit heavy, and I would say it's about a medium to full. Like, depending on how much you put on, it could be a full. The way that I applied it, it was more of a medium finish, and so I did end up putting 2 layers of foundation on after I put on my Milk of Magnesia. And then after that, I did put a setting powder on top of it just to kind of lock everything in. And it has done amazing. Like, I'm gonna wear this the rest of the night and see how it does, but so far, I absolutely love this foundation. Like, this foundation is probably one of the better high-end foundations that I've gotten. I would say out of all 4 of the ones that I've reviewed today, I think my favorite might just be Fenty Beauty. Like, I love that foundation, y'all. It might be a tie between, I don't know. You know, now that I say that, I feel like it's gonna be a tie between all of them because they all have different, like, I use them for different purposes. You know what I mean? Like, so if I'm going out a long time, I might you know, put on a certain foundation. Like if I was going out all night and I wanted my makeup to last all night, I definitely would wear this studio finish. Like I would definitely wear it, like, because I don't have to worry about my face. Like I can just go out and have a good time and not have to worry about how my makeup looks, like if it's creasing or if it's oily or if it's greasy. You know, I don't have to worry about that. And when you go out, you want to have a good time. You don't want to be worrying about what your skin's trying to do or not doing. So I will say I've worn the Smashbox for about 8 hours. I don't know if I said the NARS or not. I can't remember. But the NARS, I've worn that for about 10 hours, and I had to touch up once or twice maybe, which is not, I mean, that's not super bad. But if you're looking for a makeup that you do not have to touch, I would definitely recommend the Fenty. I can't even say that though, you know what I mean? Because they all give you a matte finish. It just depends on how long you wear them. Like the Maybelline, if you're wearing it for 10 hours or less, you'll probably touch up once. The Fenty, if you're wearing that, let's say you're wearing that for 10 hours, you might have to touch up your nose. Just dab it with your finger. That's it. The NARS, I will say that I got a little bit shiny with that. Again, right up in my T-zone, same area. So if you're wearing that for 10 hours, you may have to just touch up your nose. And I mean, that's just from personal experience what I've had to do. Studio finish, you trying to go out and you not trying to touch your face, you're gonna be out for 10 hours, you don't need to worry about it because it'll be fine. I mean, look at my face. So, I mean, I would really, any of them are good for oily skin. It depends on your budget, depends on where you are. But there's just been several times when I've been stuck and I have oily skin and I don't have makeup with me and I'm staying wherever I am. So it's kind of like I have had to figure out which brands I can grab on the fly, and the Maybelline is definitely the best for that. I mean, if you're gonna be out and let's say you didn't know you were spending the night somewhere and you want to get makeup for the next day, grab the Maybelline. It is like the cheapest, easiest route to go. But other than that, like, those are my 4 favorite foundations for oily skin. If you guys have any other foundations that you like to use, like I said before, drop them down in the comments below and I'm definitely going to try them out because I'm always looking for foundations. And other than that, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know who you're watching on YouTube because it's not me. But make sure you subscribe, turn on your video notifications so you can see when I post. I'm really trying to post like twice a month. So with that being said, I'm also going to need some content ideas. So if you guys have anything you want to see, anything you want me to review, keep in mind I do hair, I do makeup, everything. You know, whatever you guys want to see, I'm open to trying it, I'm open to doing it. So drop that down in the comments below as well. And I will see you guys next time.